Subscribe and join our Discord if you like the video. You're just a regular old peasant, roaming the streets of Waterdeep at night. While carrying your 100 sack of wheat to fill out the workday, you feel a sharp sensation of pain on your neck. You look down and see a pale head chomping down at your throat. The feeling of blood leaving your body overwhelms you, and you slowly begin to pass out, the strength of this person grappling you being too hard to overcome. You wake up from God knows how long you've been away for, and find yourself in a basement. But not any old basement, it's a fancy one, with all the torture devices a sadistic maniac could ask for. Congratulations, you are now a vampire spawn. Let's take a look at your new abilities. Regeneration. Knowing the commoner stat block, this is quite the upgrade. Staying in the shade gives you super healing, but don't let that sunlight touch you. Oh, and running water? Fuck running water. All my homies hate running water. Spider climb. You can walk on walls now. Pretty much no downsides here. Damage resistances. Getting a rock cracked over your head doesn't hurt as much anymore, and you are now able to comfortably take your fists to a sword fight because you now have claws. That, along with your ability to bite like your boss, will give you a significant advantage in a fight. Dark vision. Only being able to come out at night does have its perks. You can now see at night as if it were day. Forbiddance. You are the embodiment of politeness when it comes to entering someone's house. As long as you don't have an invitation, you cannot enter anybody's house.
This is my own private domicile and I will not be harassed! Bitch!
Other things that can kill you now. Stake to the heart. You better not be caught lacking when sleeping in your resting place. It only takes one guy with a pointy stick and beach ball sized nuts to completely destroy you and turn you into dust. Holy water. Holy cow, you're gonna hate this one. It stings, it burns, get it away from me.
Where's the money, Lebowski?
Well, what's wrong with this? Regeneration? Eternal life? I sit in my room all day anyway. Well, until you've paid your dues, you're gonna be expecting as much free will as a simp with a credit card. Your new boss is a true vampire. Let's call him Frank from accounting. And he needs new employees to do his dirty work, so he doesn't have to go out in the streets collecting trash like you anymore. Now that he has you, he's got a janitor, a maid. Basically, you're an unpaid intern. Hey, I want to be paid. This is bullshit. Could I not just ask him to let me leave this servitude? Good one! Unless you prove useful beyond measure, the most you'll be expecting out of this relationship will be permanent ridicule for not being able to do a good enough job to get promoted. Alright, now that everything's set in stone, what do? Well, Frank might be feeling a bit peckish after spending all that effort to employ you, so he may ask you to get back out there and show your go-getter attitude by bringing a set amount of regular villagers such as your previous self to him. You're not really experienced in kidnapping yet, so you think to yourself, where's a good place to start? Alright, at the village where everybody trusted you. So you go back to ye old homestead, and it's now time to strike. Let's take a look at your options. Number 1, the fair-mated Gertrude that ignored your sending stone messages. She wasn't worth your time anyway. Number 2, old, nice, and slow-walking Mary Beth from the local church. Nah, she made you pies one time, she'll get a pass. Number 3, Chad Boy Darrett from the outskirts of town. He was always wrongfully accusing you for stealing his chickens because you wouldn't sell him one for a spare copper he had lying around in his pockets. Bingo. The perfect target. Even though you still don't have the powers of a full vampire, you still can't go outside during the day. So you wait patiently at night until Darrett is back in his home and the sun is fully set. You come up to his house and knock on his door. Hey Darrett, how are you doing? Hey you, I haven't seen you since last week. Where you been? Oh, here and there, you know. Those caravans ain't going to pull themselves. Wait, you pull caravans? Anyway, I was wanting to come apologize for the arguments we've been having recently. After some thought, I think that your offer of 1 copper for my chicken was more than fair. Ah, I see you finally come to your senses. So where's my chicken? I wanted to get a contract between us, so everybody knows we're all on good terms. And you actually bought it for 1 copper. Can we use your table inside to fill it out? Oh, no problem. You can just write it on my back here in the doorway. Oh, I wouldn't want to bother you with that. Let's just go inside and fill it out. You know, my wife's asleep. I don't want to wake her up now. Please? You know what? I think this is better done in the morning. Hey, by the way, how did you get so pale? So you drag Darrett down to Casa de Franco and put him in front of your boss to await his verdict. Frank chops down on Darrett as you eagerly await his approval. Why the fuck are you still here? Go away. You patiently wait in the room next door. Once you get your performance report, you see that this year's quota on bodies demands 49 more of these via express delivery before your boss will even take a look at you with an ounce of respect. You spend the better part of the year accumulating 49 more kidnapping charges and begin to slowly resent your boss. Once your final delivery is complete, Frank has a promotion for you. Finally, I get to be a full vampire and work by Frank's side as an equal. Now hold up there, buddy. Nobody just became famous in a year. They had to work a lot harder than that. Everybody does. Well, not everyone. You are now promoted from a delivery boy to Chief Recruitment Officer, and your task is to recruit more units for your master's army. You are now considered to be, in some circles, the pinnacle of UnDef, the HR department, giving the term human resources a whole new meaning. Frank gives you a list of creatures to animate for him. First, it's the local zombies from the graveyard, using company-issued scrolls of animate dead. Then, you're gonna be unwrapping some Christmas presents in the local crypts, because after the zombies, you'll be upgrading to mummies. After you've dodged all the pitchforks and torches by the angry mobs hounding you day and night, you've now gathered up a small mercenary company of undead to bow at your master's whim. You can now be promoted to CAO, the Chief Alchemy Officer. You've been a loyal employee for somewhere north of 300 years, and Frank has put his trust in you to keep in his alchemy room, concocting potions, researching powerful artifacts, and performing rituals to make him stronger. So long as you don't get killed by the flesh golems you cook up, you're on track to climbing the corporate ladder to the top. After about 200 more years of servitude, you've shown that you truly owe your soul, or whatever is left inside, to the company goals. And Frank wants you to be more independent in your work. Working from home. No! He wants you to do all of his work for him now, so he is going to turn you into an actual vampire. Congratulations, you are now a fully fledged vampire. You finally have free will, the ability to create your own spawn, and all the perks of being a real bloodsucker. The downside? You're still stuck with company loyalty. See, Frank didn't promote you because he respects you. He promoted you because he wants to retire. And by retire, I mean take a long, luxurious undead vacation while you do all his work. You might be wondering, why can't I just run away? Well, turns out those 500 years of corporate conditioning don't just go away. You're still compelled to serve Frank in his goals, and if you ever even think about betraying him, he's got about a dozen more vampire buddies who will make sure you regret it. Also, remember how you used to be a delivery boy? Guess what? You now have your own squad of underlings to do the same thing, and they will resent you just as much as you resented Frank. And let's not forget the biggest problem with being a vampire: adventurers. See, if you were just the spawn, nobody really cared. You were small fry, but now you're the big boss. And that means every paladin, cleric, and overleveled murder hobo in a 100-mile radius is going to be coming for your head. Good luck dealing with a party of min-maxed demon slayers who specifically pick their magic weapons just to ruin your day. And even if you manage to escape, that means leaving behind all of your carefully built undead empire to be burned down by a guy who had a lucky roll with a wooden stake. At the end of the day, the corporate vampire ladder is just a never-ending cycle of servitude. First, you were a clueless peasant, then an unpaid intern, then a mid-level manager in the undead workforce, and now you were the guy who has to worry about an up-and-coming vampire spawn doing to you exactly what you did to Frank. Because if there's one thing about vampire society, it's that loyalty only lasts as long as you are the one with power. And the second you slip up, you're just another pile of dust waiting to happen. And that is exactly how it ends for you. One night, you let your guard down. Maybe you got too comfortable. Maybe you thought that after centuries of climbing the ranks, you were finally untouchable. But the adventures, they never stop coming. You wake up one evening to the sounds of torches, steel, and divine chants echoing through your lair. Your minions fall like wheat before a scythe, and before you can even reach the escape tunnel you so meticulously planned, you feel it. A sharp pain in your chest. You look down to see a wooden stake driven right through your heart. The paladin's face is grim. The cleric is already preparing their purification spell. As your vision fades, you realize you've become exactly what you once feared. A tired, overworked boss. Too slow to stop the ambitious upstart. Your body crumbles to dust, your empire collapses, and within weeks, your name is forgotten. Frank, sipping a goblet of blood in his faraway castle, reads the news with mild amusement. Then, he opens his ledger and crosses your name off the list. Well, it's time to promote somebody new, and the cycle continues. So, why does it suck to be a vampire spawn? Because even if you make it all the way to the top, all you're doing is signing up for an eternity of paranoid, bloodthirsty capitalism. And there's no 401k that can fix that.
Saint Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store.